Oh man, do I love food. The LA Times even took notice after I ate at Hugo's nearly every day for 32 years. It was just blocks from my home in West Hollywood. And now I've moved to the Motion Picture and Television Fund here in Woodland Hills, and my obsession for good meals continue to simmer. Join me as I explore our food options here on the Wasserman campus. Norm Langer, welcome to the Original Foodie.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, you folks have been around for a long time, and it really is a pleasure to introduce you to our many residents here at MPTF, and it's very appreciative.
June 17th of next year will be 75 years that we're here.
75. Well, now, does that make you, let's see, are well, you're older than Canners.
No, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Cantor's is 2 years older than we are.
Is 2 years older.
Right. My dad opened in 47. I think Cantor's opened in 45, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. Okay, because I knew it was really close there. And, it was very interesting in doing a little bit of research on Langers and the fact that you and Cantors have been working together from time to time. And
Well, more or less. I mean, Gary Cantor and I were friendly, and there's no reason not to have camaraderie. Everybody's got their own customer base, their own products, and why not share with each other? We're not hurting each other.
Truly, truly. Now tell me, you must tell me about this pastrami sandwich, because I read about the number 19. I read about the wonders of what you've done with the pastrami sandwich. Why is yours so more delectable than the folks next door or the others in town? What can you tell me any secrets?
Sure, I'd be more than happy to. Number one, the company that makes my product, RC Provision in Burbank, we've been doing business with them for 40 years. My dad originally got together with Alex Rusek, who's a gentleman that owned it at the time, and they came up with a recipe of what my dad wanted, flavor and taste-wise. Also, we use navel pastrami. A lot of people on the East Coast use brisket pastrami. But navels are a little bit more tender. I don't want any navel pastrami in here that weighs over 2.5 pounds. If it is, they're more like a blanket. There's a lot of too much fat and too much sinew. But the bottom line of the whole product is just a couple of things. Most Jewish delis will take the product, they will put it in a steamer or a warmer for 45 minutes. It's still tough. They haven't broken down the tissues. They will put it on the slicing machine, slice it paper thin. Maybe they'll put it in au juice, maybe they won't, but you're eating a tough piece of meat like a racquetball. My pastrami is steamed, anywhere from 2.5 to 4 hours, 4.5 hours, till we break the tissues down. And that's what it's all about, is being able to break the tissues down so you've got a soft, juicy, edible piece of meat that you can cut with a fork. You don't need a knife to cut it. That's what you try to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that my dad was very, very insistent on is that the product is hand cut. One of the things about slicing meat, you always cut against the grain, never cut with the grain. So a flat or a navel, a piece of pastrami, can have grain running in 2 or 3 or 4 different directions. So you're continually churning the piece of meat so you're cutting against the grain. Your average deli is cutting it on a machine. They're slicing it paper thin, and they don't have the ability, the time, or the desire to keep turning the meat to cut it against the grain. So it becomes like a catch-all.
It is.
So go ahead.
Yeah. No, that answers the question. And because I can picture the brisket of beef, and I know what it looks like, and I can see the same, obviously, the pastrami, and I can see by the way you're talking about it, that sure, that makes a big difference. And that's what makes your pastrami really special.
Well, it's caring for the product. It's making sure the product is put out right.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big expense to steam product for that long because of the shrinkage.
Mhm.
Now, in generalities, the kind of product that I'm using will shrink about 38%. That's what it winds up costing me by the time it shrinks in steaming. By the time we trim out the fat and sinew, you trim out some of the membrane, so you can get to the heart of the pastrami. There's a big loss to it. A lot of your restaurants, or most of them, don't want to take that loss, and that's basically what you're dealing with.
Sure, sure. What else? What is would you say is your runner-up to your second dish that sells very well there?
Well, the second dish naturally would be corned beef.
Corned beef.
There is, some of the population doesn't like pastrami because it's too spicy for them.
Mhm.
Corned beef is a little bit more on the bland side, but you're still dealing with what's considered to be a delicatessen delicacy.
Mhm. And you call yours, it's interesting. You call yours Langer's Delicatessen hyphen restaurant. Is there a reason for that, or do we refer to it as Langer's Deli or Langer's Delicatessen restaurant?
We generally refer to it as Langer's Deli. The reason my dad went to delicatessen restaurant is because we carry a complete coffee shop menu as well as a Jewish delicatessen menu. They're similar, but there's a lot of different items in there.
Mhm.
So you can still come in here. We are not kosher. So you can still come in here and get bacon and eggs, ham and eggs. You can get a club sandwich. So we try to offer a variation of different products to satisfy everybody's palate.
And you've managed during these present incredible times with COVID, with your employees, with opening, with closing, your location. Are things starting to come back together for you yet?
It started to come back, but Phil, I think a lot of the problem, people are still afraid. There's still a lot of people working from home.
Mhm.
Your office vacancy factor downtown is still quite large. There's still a lot of office space available because people are working from home. I do not believe that in the near future, we will ever get back to where we were. And I don't mean Langers, I mean everybody.
Everybody, I agree.
I think there's still a segment of the population that is fearful. Now, we will not let anybody in to dine if they haven't been vaccinated and they don't have proof. I get people who come in, well, we had a test 2 days ago. Sorry, that's not acceptable. You must be fully vaccinated to enter my premises, and you must have proof. Now, I do that for a few reasons. I was the first one in the city of Los Angeles to do it. Nobody else enforced that. When I started over 3 months ago, I had 12 television networks in here filming and wanted to know why I did it. And the main reason I did it is to keep my employees safe. I have many employees here over 30 years. They have given me the best part of their life. So it's incumbent upon me to protect them. And the only way I can do it is to require customers to be fully vaccinated and be able to prove. I only have 2 employees that are not vaccinated. One, my secretary, Rosie, who is 8.5 months pregnant. The other one is my head chef, who's been there 51 years, who has a medical exemption. Otherwise, everybody else is vaccinated. I get many, 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 many customers coming in here saying, Norm, thank you for doing that. This is the only restaurant we feel safe in going to because we know you are checking.
And how do you set it up physically? Do you have someone at the door?
Yes, we have somebody at the door who stands there who checks. You can't get seated. Now, if you come in and you don't have your credentials, I will allow you to order food to take out,
Mhm.
and you can eat in your car if you wish. I would like to be able to recommend you go across the street in the park, but you can't. The park is being remodeled now and it's all fenced off.
Mhm. That's a problem. Well, your location has been, I had a cousin who was up the street many years ago, an optometrist, and it brought me down to your location. And when Al's Broiler, do you remember Al's Broiler when he was alive on 6th and Rampart at all?
I remember the name, but I never frequented.
It was a coffee shop operation that eventually expanded into steakhouses and whatnot. But you guys have been there all these years, and the neighborhood has changed. The Metro Link, I'm sure, assists you from people coming from downtown, and I'm sure that was a big plus. So it's such a pleasure to see that you have hung in, and apparently folks like, I understand you've got a James Beard Award.
I've won the James Beard Award twice, and I've also won the Michelin Gourmand Award.
Uh-huh. Now that's
I guess those are good credentials.
Well, for a Jewish deli, I mean, I take my hat off. I mean, those are excellent credentials. No, that's that's really wonderful. You started working with your dad back in what, 62 or thereabouts?
January of 1963.
63.
I got out of the Army December 17th, or pardon me, December 7th of 62. I was not one to go to college. I went in the Army at 17 years old and got out of the Army at 17 years old with a medical discharge. And I decided before going to work for my dad, I wanted to go to work in a meatpacking house where he was buying product.
Mm-hmm.
That way I could see the other side of the coin. I could learn from the bottom up. So I went to work for Hallmark Meatpacking in Vernon. I think I was there 3 weeks or 4. I think I was there 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, and learned a little bit, but decided that wasn't for me. It was too cold. It was somewhere I was starting to get sick, and I said, no, thank you. So I left there and I went to work here. And I've been here since January of 63.
Your hours, are you still closing, what, about 3 or 4 in the afternoon?
We are open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and closed on Sunday. We used to be open 7 days a week from 6:30 a.m. to 3 a.m. on the weekend and 1 a.m. during the week. But over the years, the area just became too difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to get anybody hurt, be it my employees or be it the customers.
Sure. And parking?
Parking, we have a 45-car parking lot, 1 block east of the store on the northeast corner of 7th and Westland.
You've really covered the bases. That's really quite good. No, I'm going to find my way down there one day very soon and I was in Langer's a long time ago, and but it was just an area where I come from, the West Side, that I rarely got to. But friends of mine who work downtown would come in, and the conversations about your deli are endless and positive and, to say the least, delicious.
Well, over the years, unless you had a specific reason to go downtown, people didn't venture down here.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, number one, it was too far to drive. But as the area started to deteriorate, it wasn't worth people's time. A lot of people felt they were putting themselves at risk. Now, in all honesty, and I kid you not, my area, my customers are safe. Most of the homeless people around here are not a problem, other than the visual aspect of it. But you can go out. I mean, look what's going on in the country now with being smash and grab in Nordstrom last night, or what's going on Rodeo Drive or Pasadena. I mean, you can run into problems everywhere. Beverly Hills has got their hands full. So I guess in some respects, we're not as bad as other places because people know what to expect. And you have to be, I don't care where you go today, you have to be alert.
Yes. No, you've got to watch your backside and just keep an eye. You've got to be aware where you are all the time.
But my customers, as a rule, I've had very little complaints, if any, in recent times of anybody that's got bothered by any of these people.
Mhm.
You get some panhandlers will ask you for $1, but that's really been the extent of it. But you got a lot of dirt and a lot of filth around, which I make an effort to steam clean every day and sweep up the area and try to clean the alley and try to keep it up to stuff.
I mean, that's it. It's a wonderful, wonderful job that you're doing. And the fact that people are coming back to you and continue to come to you, and you have your line of customers, I mean, it says an awful lot about you and your operation and the energy that you have put forth. I mean, wow. I mean, can't say enough. Have you ever been out to this part of the town? Have you ever seen the campus here at MPTF?
I'm in Woodland Hills off of DeSoto and Ventura. So yes, yes, Bill, I know the area very well.
Oh, you do? Oh, that's funny. Okay, well then yes, because no, I was coming out to this area. I've been here now 6.5 years, and it has been a godsend. It's a very special, special place here, and there are very special people, not only on the resident side but on the staff side. There, can't say enough. And this closed circuit television station that we are presently on has been funded, and the things that they do and they reach out, it's been incredible. And I represented talent. I was always behind the camera. Food has always been a pleasure for me. My email starts with filled dinner. And so food has always been a great part of my life. My family comes from the produce business. My father serviced restaurants. His father-in-law and brother-in-law serviced restaurants. And like you with the meatpacking house, I went a few times with my father down to the produce market and said, "No, thanks, Dad." I looked at my watch. I said, "My God, it's 3:30 in the morning, and I'm ready for breakfast." and so,
and that's what the produce business is.
That's exactly what it is. And I learned, and I have a certain sense about produce. The restaurant business was second nature to me, and now it's come full circle, and it's just been a sensational ride. But they do a special thing here: the food, the people, the programs. We're just into the holiday seasons. We've got Hanukkah. What is Hanukkah? Starting Sunday night, I believe. This has been very special, and it's folks like you that have participated, that are aware and talk about this place, and then it's quite funny that you live so close. That's truly wonderful.
We enjoy the valley other than the 110-degree days that we have.
Yes, well, see, and I'm a product of the other side of the hill. So when I came here, and Woodland Hills seems to be a little special part of the valley that gets warmer than most. And so
you take your tushy off in here.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Absolutely. So it's it's been quite a change for me, but a good change, I must say. And just keeping myself active and doing things like this, and it's been a sensational situation.
Seems like you found a niche that you're happy with and you're comfortable with, and you've made a lot of good friends, and that's what's important.
Yes, yes. We have some wonderful relationships here, and I've made some good friends, continue to make some good friends. Although now that, COVID, we're still, we've been very lucky here. Our CEO, Bob Beecher, who has done an incredible job with the assistance of the residents and the staff, in keeping this place safe. There hasn't been a case of COVID on these grounds or in this campus for many, 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 many months, and never really had a problem with it because they tackled it 1, 2, 3 in the beginning, and it was quite
which is the smart thing to do. I mean, when you've
Yes.
got a problem, the man at the top has to make a decision of how can you protect everybody. In your particular case, you've got to protect not only the staff, but the residents,
That's right.
which is the same here. I've got to protect my employees as well as my customers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I view it.
No, you're absolutely correct. No, that's what they've done here. You've done it well, and it's been a pleasure, I must say. I'm going to say thank you, Norm, very much for taking your time, your energy, and spending time with us. And I hope to see you soon. I will let you know should I embark and travel your way. If you're out here, please come join us for a meal. We'd love to see you.
What I would like to do, my wife and I are leaving for a week on Saturday for vacation. And right after the 1st of January, I'm going to give you a call and I'll come by one day and you and I can play catch up.
Oh, that would be great. That would really be great. I would look forward to that. And no, that would be very sweet. And I just want to, if I may, sign off. And again, thank you so very much. And sign off with my sign, that is to say, till we eat again.
I love those beautiful words. May I wish you and everybody there a very, very happy and a healthy holiday season.
Thank you, and right back at you.
Thank you so much.